Hello and welcome once again to Red Gaming Tech for your daily dose of the latest gaming news. Today is the 15th of September and I have some news for you today concerning Deep Down. Now obviously we will be getting more info on this upcoming Capcom RPG at Tokyo Game Show next week, but Yoshinori Ono has given a few nuggets of information via a Famitsu interview. Now it obviously has been previously revealed that this is a PS4 exclusive that will be set in a futuristic New York, specifically the year 2094, but the players will also be travelling back in time. And he said, quote, "Ravens, a group who possess a special ability, are the key group. Other than being able to dive into the past, they are able to read the memories of objects and hear the voices of the past. The Ravens in New York 2094 go to a certain time period and use the information they scan there to clarify events of the past." As Ravens, players will proceed through dungeons in the past and investigate this. There is a theme of emotion in this game. There are various dungeons in the past that correspond to the feelings of human emotions. When you read a stone statue and enter a dungeon, things full of past thoughts and grudges are scattered around. If you touch those thoughts, they can read memories of the past. We're calling Deep Down a memory reading RPG, but these words also sum up the objectives of the game: emotion reading, or knowing the reality of the past. One of Deep Down's selling points is its self-generating dungeons and how you'll never enter the same dungeon twice. When I say self-generating, but the system is not totally random, it's a regulated random. It's thanks to the ample memory and operating speed of the PlayStation 4 that this style of game is possible. And visuals, he is saying, will also approach a level of photorealism, and according to Yoshinori, both weapons and armor will deteriorate and become dirty, and because of the PS4's operating speed, there will also be rust and mold on players' equipment, and they will not be simply rendered as textures. Instead, it will be calculated reflections of the player's interaction with the world, and it's one of the reasons behind the game being online only. And he had more to say, saying, quote, "Deep Down is an online game at its core, and as such an online environment is required because PlayStation 4 is a new platform with an inseparable online component. We want you to expect an online system with as little resistance as possible. We're making Deep Down by aggregating the know-how of online segments we've cultivated so far. Even if you have only a small amount of time to play, we're working hard to make sure the tempo and enjoyability are up. For those players who feel that online gaming is awkward, Deep Down can also be enjoyed by oneself. First, try playing solo, then when you become accustomed to it, try challenging dungeons together with other Ravens. We do want to lower barriers to play as much as possible. We've done as much as we can to create seamless gameplay and the opportunity to shift naturally back and forth between both solo and multiplayer. Connecting to network is at the heart of the PlayStation 4's hardware planning, so making use of the online component has become very unconscious and easy to do. We'll put management and continuation first, because we want you to continue enjoying online play for a long time to come. We're planning periodic version upgrades and large updates. We will also continue to develop and manage at fixed intervals." And he also went on to say that PS4 development was, quote, "easy and precise, and things we wanted to do could be implemented relatively quickly. Even in the trailer release at the February press conference, we could see that coming up with something of quality was quick to do. For example, producing something at 60 frames and moving in real time was relatively simple. That's when I got it. That with just a bit more time, how much more we'd be able to do. PlayStation 4 is more than just satisfaction, it's about feeling the possibilities. I've got to hand it to the PS4 folks for creating a system that's so easy to work with." And he even touched on the new DualShock controller playing a part in this particular game with its light bar and how it will reflect the game's theme of emotion with its colour, and players will apparently be able to tell the colour of the motion of the dungeon they are looking at when the Ravens hear the voices of the past. The sounds will not come from the TV speakers but from the controller's internal speakers instead. So there you have it, and a beta will be released for the game soon after the PS4's release, but unfortunately no other information was given other than just soon, which is not really all that helpful. But as I touched on at the beginning of the video, we are of course going to be seeing more information revealed at Tokyo Game Show next week, and I would fully expect to be seeing perhaps a release window and maybe of price or some, just lots of tasty information, and I will of course be keeping my eyes peeled for that information so that I can keep you guys up to date. Now, it sounds rather interesting to say the least. Actually reading that makes me quite curious. Now, randomly generated dungeons, or semi-random from the sound of his description, it's pretty cool. I like the sound of it. Of course, it does massively encourage exploration if you're not just going to be running through the same dungeon 50 times or whatever. Obviously, if you've got random generation in there, it does add a new element of exploration and even challenge if each time you enter a dungeon it's going to be completely new and you will never see the same layout twice. Now, I do wonder if it's just generating from the same rooms, or if even the rooms will be randomly generated. It's really tough to say. I would imagine it's just going to be generating from a set of X amount of rooms. I would imagine if this is true, obviously it's speculation from me, the amount of rooms they would have to choose from is going to be huge, because obviously this is a full-blown AAA release from Capcom. So I would imagine that if that's how they're doing it, which I don't know, obviously it could be even the rooms are randomly generated, the layout and so forth, then obviously it still gives a lot of choice, and you may see the same rooms a couple of times, but that's still better than seeing the same dungeons lots of times. And I like this whole idea of reading thoughts and memories, as well as the whole theme of emotion. It sounds like it's definitely taking the story down an interesting path, and I'm really curious to see how this goes. So I'll definitely be keeping my eyes peeled for the latest information from the Tokyo Game Show when they do the conference next week. Anyway, that is me done for this video. Hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching, and do hit me up with thoughts and opinions. I want to see what your thoughts are on this game, what you think of it, what you think of these ideas, and what you're hoping to see from Capcom in the future. Anyway, that is me done. As I said, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.